Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Fall Wonders collection from the brand OPI for Fall 2022. This collection was sent to me from HB Beauty Bar, so in the description box I will link the HB Beauty Bar site and Instagram page. I will link the OPI site and Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. I do also have a 22% off discount code with HB Beauty Bar. It is an affiliate code. If you choose to use it, you will receive 22% off. So that will be here on the screen as well as in the description box. So we do have 12 new polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So at first we have Red-veal Your Truth, and this one is a crimson red cream. So here's our first coat of Red-veal Your Truth. This does have a very nice, very opaque formula. OPI does these reds very often, so they definitely have the formula down by now. I got full opacity virtually in one coat. I did do two just for coverage's sake. You'll want top coat to keep your manicure lasting, and I didn't have any staining. There's two coats. Next up we have Rest and Relaxation, and this one is a brighter red-orange cream. Here's our first coat of Rest and Relaxation. This is very similar to the last polish. This one does say a little bit more summer red, and the other one says a little bit more fall red. I could see having both in your collection, but I can't really see the justification in two in one singular release, but there are two coats of Rest and Relaxation. Up next we have Ochre The Moon, and this one is a baby puke color cream. Here's our first coat of Ochre The Moon. This one I was the most excited for in the collection, and possibly the most let down. For some reason, mine kept having like these streaky patches as if it weren't fully mixed up, so I refilmed this a few times and shook the bottle, and it just didn't get any better. So I did do two coats. I still had these weird like uneven lines, as you might be able to see. They were there. Next up we have Susie Takes a Sound Bath, and this one is a blue, but it's almost pearly. Here's our first coat of Susie Takes a Sound Bath. This one does cover really well here on this first coat. It's not totally opaque, and even if it was, I would go in for two coats anyway to straighten out any of these brush strokes. I know a few years ago when my nails were super long, I absolutely hated a pro polish, but I have grown to really love them, and I think this is a stunning one. I got full opacity in two coats. You'll want to be mindful of your brush strokes because they do stay and hang around. This doesn't dry textured or dull, and removal's easy, so there are two coats. So up next we have Midnight Mantra, and I did go searching high and low for a bottle of this, and I could only find it in the Infinite Shine line, but this one is a deeper navy blue cream. Here's our first coat of Midnight Mantra. This one does cover well on the first coat, just not totally even and totally opaque. The base color does deepen up quite significantly on two coats, so I do recommend going in for two thinner coats instead of trying to get this opaque and one thicker one. The formula is smooth and easy to work with, a very nice application, very buttery. You will want top coat just to keep your manicure lasting, but again, this one does dry nice and glossy all on its own, so there are two coats of Midnight Mantra. Up next we have Medi-take It All In, and this one is a purple that leans pink, but it's not quite a lilac cream. Here's our first coat of Medi-take It All In, and this one also covers very well here on this first coat. Almost a one coater. I did have just a couple spots that were a little bit lighter, so I did opt to go in for two, but I do think after a couple uses this one will probably be a one coater. You will want top coat again just to keep your manicure lasting, but this one will also dry nice and glossy all on its own, and I do think it dries a tad bit darker than when it's wet, so there are two coats. Next up we have Clay Dreaming, and this one is a mauve cream. Here's our first coat of Clay Dreaming. This one is one of my top picks of the collection. This is a safety net color for me. I really enjoy these dusty colors for the fall, and this one is no exception. This had an excellent two coat formula, no running, pulling, or staining. I just had some odd things happening on my nail bed, but it wasn't the polish itself. This one also dried a little bit darker than when it was wet, so there are 2 coats of Clay Dreaming. Next up we have Peace of Mind, and this one is a purple toned gray cream. Here's our first coat of Peace of Mind. Still seeing that blows my mind. I don't like how that is spelled. This one covers pretty well here on this first coat, not totally opaque, not totally even, so I am doing 2 for full coverage. A very smooth, workable formula, nice and buttery, and it dries glossy. So there are 2 coats of Peace of Mind. Next up we have Brown to Earth, and this one is a purple toned deeper brown cream. Here's our first coat of Brown to Earth. This one covers decently well on this first coat. Obviously not a one coater, but very smooth and creamy nonetheless, and I was still able to get full opacity in just 2 coats. Once again, just like all of the other creams, this will dry nice and glossy all on its own. A top coat will help keep your manicure lasting, and this one in some lightings did look black, but there are 2 coats. Next up we have Clean Slate, and this one is a kind of gravel gray with a stronger silver shimmer. Here's our first coat of Clean Slate. This one has pretty good coverage here on this first coat. Obviously needs a second, but does cover very, very well. The shimmer that's in here stands out absolutely beautifully. Unlike the pearly one, I didn't have to worry so much about brush strokes. Most of those did dissipate as it dried, but the shimmer still stood out really, really nicely. This one also dries glossy, nothing dries textured, and removal's easy, so there are 2 coats of Clean Slate. Next up we have Cave the Way, and this is more of a gunmetal gray with this little blue fleck to it. Here is our first coat of Cave the Way. This one had a little bit of sheerness to it with this beautiful blue fleck running throughout. It definitely had to be a little bit more sheer than a super opaque black to be able to see all of those blue bits. The formula is very smooth, very easy to work with. Again, with this shimmer, I didn't have any brush strokes hanging around for too long. You'll want top coat, nothing dries textured, and removal is easy, so there are 2 coats of Cave the Way. And lastly for today we have Micah Be Dreaming, and this one is a golden foil with these tiny little copper bits. And here's our first coat of Mica Be Dreaming. This one covers pretty well here on this first coat. This is definitely my top pick of the collection. Not only does it kind of say fall with these coppery bits, but it also really says holiday to me, and I think it is absolutely stunning. I got full coverage in 2 coats. Removal was easy, and it dries smooth and glossy. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.